What's going on, everyone? What's happening?
You.
We are live right here on Edge of Philly Sports, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We are live all across all sorts of social media platforms, and we need to get into. Usually, me and Steve like to kick it off. We used to like to talk about the games, and we're going to get into all the action from over the weekend. And there's a lot of more questions and answers now moving forward with the team. But however, the Philadelphia Union had made a move today that went viral. I mean, the last time I saw a kid this young getting signed was Henry Rosengartner from the movie Rookie of the Year, where the kid slips on a baseball, breaks his arm, and he has an incredible baseball. But anyway, this is now becoming a reality because a 14-year-old youngster, Kevin Sullivan, is now going to realize his dream and play alongside his brother. And I got to go with right to you, Steve. Your initial reaction to all this.
About time. They make a signing like this, and he's
Hi, Michael. Hey, Steve, and the sausage style. Oh boy! And this is
oh
how we're gonna start the
man,
show
I
right
know
off,
because
right off the tracks.
I know what he's referring to. 'Cause I saw. anyways, anyways,
Oh
that's how
boy!
you kick off. That's how
Yes.
you kick it off. No, but
Yeah.
it's all just a few months ago. In March, he
Mm-hmm.
had a game winning assist. Playing with the Union too. So you already kind of knew about him. You knew these things were coming. You already heard about the rumors of the transfer to Manchester City, but I think it was more their delivery, the tweets and the video and how they did it. Perfect timing, I think. In the midst of everything of you know two losses and a draw, I think this is exactly the type of news and announcement and signing, uh, largest, richest homegrown deal in MLS history. So it's good. He said it himself that it's a dream come true to be able to play for his hometown team, to play next to his brother in front of these fans. It's going to be. My initial reaction was like, all right, when is he going to get on the field now? Now that because I kind of already had a feeling. So now it's when is he going to get on the field? And then I saw some
Mm-hmm.
thing going around about July 29th. If he gets on the field before then, he'll be the youngest debut in all of Northern America sports, major sports. And then during the press conference today, Jim Curtin, exactly what Mike just said. Curtin looked happy about the signing, and he said it. We're not going to be when he's healthy, he'll debut, and he's not going to shy. The, he's not going to beat around the bush. Pretty much, he's going to start sooner rather than later. So it's exciting. And I started looking at the calendar. I jokingly said, "How crazy would it be June 15th against Miami is his debut?" It would be, fitting, but I think it would be, probably a little bit too much. But I started looking at the schedule, and I'm like, wow, when could his first game be? But what about you? What was your first initial reaction to all the news?
So it's funny because when it broke out, and like I said, I was just like, wow, we're actually doing this. We're going to sign a real youngster to a major league level. And listen, and Jim, so when I listened to Jim's conference today, they blatantly said, listen, we don't look to buy talent, we just look to develop talent. And that's what they have here. And that's what they got with this kid. And they know about the Solon family and how loyal they are. And they just know the talent. And one thing they keep on bringing up about this kid is that his skill set, the vision, the bravery this kid shows. He's not scared to go facing, the big guys. He wants to get roughed up. He wants to be welcome to the MLS by um, the 18 guys and stuff like this. Like he's ready to go. I mean, you made me laugh today about summer school because now all of a sudden you're not going to have a summer school. Your summer school is going to be soccer. And eating and breathing it. So I mean, this is going to be for real. And you listen to his Union Two coach Martin LeBlanc. I mean, just being just being straightforward. There's gonna be things you like about it and things not you're gonna like about it, but it's all development. It's all development to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's come, some of the conversations I like to hear. Um, and like Jim was saying himself, there's going to be positives and there's going to be negatives. There's going to be, and that's, some things you're just going to have to get used to. And, but unfortunately, I mean, this kid's going to be the real deal. And, he was talking about the other sports teams, like trying to rack up deals now at this age is just unreal. Um, I don't know. Like I said, it
But
kind of scares me because I feel like this is a premature move. But then again, I mean, if you think this kid's going to be the real deal and come, for the for the future, you got to rack him in now, and which they did. And so, I'm curious to see what he does. And like you said, how cool is it for not just that? I mean, you're playing with your older brother on the same team. Like this is like playing FIFA for real with your older brother. Like you and your brother get to do stuff for real together. And like I said, I jokingly said at the beginning of the show, I know this is like the real life Henry Rosengartner. I mean, this is going to be unique. It's going to be a lot. This is going to catch a lot of eyes. It's going to bring a lot of attention, and you see it. It went viral as far as ESPN, all the local news local news, Channel 6, Channel 10, all those guys, all of them have their eyes on this potential
yeah.
prodigy.
Yeah.
What's up, Daniel? What's up, buddy?
Yeah, no, that was cool to see
So,
how all the news outlets, all the local news outlets, ABC, 6, and then CBS, and you had all those. It wasn't just, your local, Philadelphia outlets. It was, I mean, it was one of the top news things in on ESPN on the ticker. So
yeah,
that's crazy. He's 14 years old, and how he's going to be able to be so comfortable being able to be like, well, dang, my older brother, he's going to put me in my place. If
yeah,
Curtin isn't going to be able to do it, Curtin's going to go to Quinn and be like, yo, can you please do whatever you got to do to, get him in line or whatever. And like you said, there's going to be those learning curves and there's going to be those bumps in the road. But if a juggernaut of a club like Manchester City already wants him, I mean, what does that say about this club's developmental and training staff at the academy level? What this is doing for this club and for those coaches and training staff. It
right,
speaks volumes to what they're able to do because you have other players just on this roster right now. Jack McGlynn, Nathan Harriel, his older brother Quinn, now you have newly brought up Andrew Rick. So it's just on the roster alone, you have that many homegrowns, and I'm sure I'm missing a few. But and think
right,
about the ones that have already left and gone. The first ones that come to mind are the Aronson brothers. So it's just another one, almost like the cherry on top to be like, yep, this was the one that made us go made us go viral and is going to be seen. And imagine if these group of kids are the United States men's national team here, maybe not in 2 years, but in 6 years for the next one, or at least for the in 4 years Olympics. They're all going to be old, still young enough. So
hmm
it just speaks volumes to this club's I think developmental program and staff.
And absolutely it does. I mean, like you just said, they develop young kids, are doing a great job, and like you said, Manchester City's already gotten their teeth trying to suck into this kid, as bring him over when when he turns 18. We're going to make him, we're going to try and make him a real bigger star than what he is. So again, they got a lot of things going on over here as far as developmental and all those other things. I mean, like I said, it's caught in a lot of people's eyes. Like, whoa, what's going on at Subaru Park? They just signed a 14-year-old kid, um, and it's going to be interesting. Like you said, what if just like Jim said, it could be a year, it could be 3 years. We don't know. It all comes back to the eye test. What do they see when he's ready to get in there and go? And again, I seen him live. I want to say about a month ago, at a
Yeah.
the Union 2 game. I got to see him live a little bit. Got to see what he could do. I mean, again, I'm not. This is day one. I'm just trying to see if this kid gets feet wet, see what kind of things, what kind of creative things he can do, what makes him so special from everybody else, other than the last name. I want to see what's he going to bring. And it's like I said, it's unique. It's a unique situation that the Philadelphia Union find themselves in. And like you said, they groom players to go overseas and live to their live out their dream. And this is what we have here, and we're just scratching the surface. So I'm hoping in due time, this kid's going to be what he looks like, and what we're all signed up to be on paper. He can bring us a
Yeah.
championship, and then go on and move on. So, but it's like I said, it's nice, and then I like what the Philadelphia Union have done. They are bring up some young cats, and we don't know. I know we joked, we checked around and say maybe we'll see him against Miami, maybe not. We don't know. It could be a year. It doesn't know. It's just all about the how, like Jim said in the press conference. He said the only way we could start, seeing things if how he practices with Team One, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
And then we'll start breaking it down. So again, kudos to the Philadelphia Union for bringing up a 14-year-old prodigy. Prodigy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's going to be
Phenom.
interesting to see.
Phenom.
Athena, Athena, we can see a 14 in the making. Just make some. I don't want to see what they're talking about. I want to see the bravery. I want to see the vision that this kid has. I want to see the skill set more. I want to see everything that he looks on paper. And I want to see that at with Team One. Like if he puts a move on a Messier, like it's gonna rock people's shorts. Like it's gonna really like people be blowing. It would be like Iverson doing the crossover on Jordan. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
like to that level. Yeah, I mean,
And he
a
had like
fresh,
he had he had like he wore Prada shoes, Prada cleats, I think. Like a
right?
Nike and Prada sort of crossover cleats to a game. And I was like, even just doing that screams like Deion Sanders. Like, I know I'm good. I dress good. I play good. I play good. They pay good, sort of
Yes.
mentality. And I really do. I think he's going to be fearless. I really do. Almost
Yeah.
like
I mean,
almost Jamie Tart like in Ted Lasso, but with a better personality.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's got. I mean, like I said, he's mature. He just sat there. He was quiet the whole time, answered the questions that had been answered. Again, it was just you seen Jim, you saw Marlon, you saw all the management that was right there to help him out, get him through. And Jim did a solid job answering questions. He answered the tough ones. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun. And now, with that being said, speaking of the regular team. And now I got to ask you a question because the Philadelphia Union called Andrew Rick to Team One. Is this concerning? Oliver Assembly is not doing a job. Is it worrisome that I don't know? Why is Andrew Rick getting a call now? Andrew Rick right now has 18 games played. Andrew Rick has, I'm sorry, Andrew Rick has 18 saves. He's three wins, one loss, and three ties. That is Andrew Rick for you. I mean, Steve, I was going to go right to you. Is this
I think
are we pushing the panic button now?
no,
Is
I
this a
think this
panic?
is more of a because he got called up against Sporting KC, Portland,
Hmm.
Nashville, and then for this makeup game against Seattle. Those were the
Hmm.
four games that they were limited to where now you have to call them up permanently. Um,
Hmm.
so I think that had something to do with it. But I think this is more about Andre Blake. I think he's more injured, and I think he's got more other things. I think sometimes when you're so good for so long in sports and in your position, and you're humble about it, right? And it's well known, it's well talked. I mean, there was how many different polls from managers and directors and owners that he was the best goalkeeper, and how many years in a row was that? This defense has been the
Mm-hmm.
catalyst. He's been the catalyst to this defense. And this year, to have his struggles that he's had, and in the last 2 years, to have the injuries that he's had, you start to get in your head a little bit. I mean, I know I would. I'd be like, dang, do I
Yes.
not have it anymore? And then you have a guy like Zemla, who everyone is like, hey, maybe it's time to pass the torch. Maybe it's time to, maybe we should start, Zemla and all that, which, hey, like all valid chirps and murmurs and rumors and stuff. So I think when you combine all those things, you almost have to, he knows his body, and I'm sure he could play through some of these injuries. But at this point, I think he's kind of got to take himself away, get himself really healthy, and get his mind right, because the Instagram post that he had about whenever when you're not happy, maybe it's time to quit or whatever it was along those lines. Those sort of things are just like, what are we doing here? That's like spur of the moment,
Yeah.
and a Curtin said it in a few press conferences ago. Um, I, he said, like, I know these guys, I'm around these guys more than any. You're gonna have little arguments. At the end of the day, these guys want to win, and when you're not doing that at the moment, it gets frustrating. But it's not like he said everyone wants to be here. But I think for him, it's this call up is more of a Andre Blake thing than it is of a Oliver Zemla thing. I think it's more of a trust in Zemla to be able to be like, hey, because I think Trent Holden is injured as well, so you almost have to have
Mm-hmm.
him, call Andrew Rick up right now. But it's good. I think it's good for him. He's a hell of a goalie. You saw him in person against the Red Bulls in that
Mm-hmm.
PK, um, uh, uh, in the MLS Next Pro. You saw him in the Red Bulls too. I think that was the Red Bull. I think that was the Red Bull two first loss, and then early, like a few weeks before that, he had a big game where he had a save, and like it was like the seventh round of the PK shootout. So he's like 6'2", so he's a big dude. I might be a little biased. He's from Bethesda, Maryland, and that's like right up the road from where I'm from. So I might be a little biased about how I feel about him, but he's
Right.
I think it's going to be good for him, because I think he's probably the future of being the backup to hopefully Zemla. And who knows, if Zemla leaves, then he is the future then behind Blake. So I think it's a good, like I said, you almost had to bring him up because of the fourth call up. But it's overall good signing. I don't think anything bad with Zemla, and it's more of a, let's get Blake healthy before we bring him back all the way.
And listen, and you're right. I mean, listen, it's this is in a way, like you said, from the top. This is going to speak. First of all, we got to know where are we with Andre Blake. We got to know again. We know all the
Mhm.
accolades that he has, and no one's questioning it. But at some point, in your career, now you're facing back-to-back injuries. You've got a loaded schedule. He's going to be getting called to do other things. So listen, in the team's best interest is, listen. Let's bring up Sam. We'll sign a serviceable backup, and on top of that, listen. We think Andrew Rick is ready. He's playing, sensational soccer. Again, like you mentioned about the Red Bull game, Huntsville, and right now they shut out Huntsville. And listen, this is all we need to see. Let's bring him up, and be there in case if Azemla goes down, because we can't, we really can't rely on a Andre Blake right now. We can't, and it's
Yeah.
and not just that, and we're going about to get into it. Um, I got a little bit of problem with this defense right now, and some of the holes they've been showing in that first half. But we're about to get in. So I mean,
Yeah.
listen, if this kid, Andre Rick, only 18, saw a puppy, and again, he's got a nice little length. If he could play, it shows some solid soccer. He's been doing that, like I said, 3-1-3. 18 saves. This is the perfect time to get in there, trying to salvage your season. You're still asking yourself a bunch of questions about Andre Blake. When all that being said, you're trying to bring in some solid backup pieces to trying to, like I said, salvage your season because you need a an all-star between the pipes back there. You're going to need a solid
Yeah.
goaltending if you're going to want to make it further. It's the same rule applies for flyer, for hockey. If you without a goaltender, you're not going to go far. And you without a goalie, you can have all the offense you want, but sometimes the defense has got to play. It's a whirlwind. So, but let's take a quick commercial break. Because I am really not happy with this team as of late. So let's take a quick commercial break. Me and Steve, we're going to talk about the game. Not a loss, but not a win either. So like I said, we have a lot more questions answered. So let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, and we'll get right into it moving forward.
If you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. If you want to travel with the pros, then go to phillysportstrips.com. Philly Sports Trips features premium travel and tailgating experiences for the best fans ever the Philadelphia sports fan. Philly Sports Trips has self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights for Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, and even the Union. They even offer day trips for more local games. Go to phillysportstrips.com, sign up immediately, and tell them EOP sent you. Do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2024 season, including the Brazil trip week 1. Jump on it now before you lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com and don't miss the next great Philly sports moment.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you, Dives. Right before the commercial break, I mentioned to Steve that this team has tons and tons and tons of issues, and this two different sides of Union soccer. Last year, tail end of their season, they couldn't do anything in the second half. Now these couple games that have been showing up here, looks like they can't get nothing going offensively, getting started. I mean, they got something late going in the first half with a Bedoya goal, but it's been not good as of late. So, Steve, I mean, first half issues. What's going on?
It's so frustrating. It's almost like Curtin needs to tell them before they walk out, hey, we're down 2-0, or we're down 1-0, guys. All right. But it is it's so sloppy. It's lazy, lack of fundamental defense. That first goal in the 9th minute, it was a beautiful setup by DC, where they put the away guys. I was at the game where they put the away supporter section is way up there. So I had a good view. And their ball movement, DC's ball movement in the first half was incredible. But that doesn't excuse the lack of, like I said, the lazy, not being where they're supposed to, lazy passes. The weather, you can blame it, but they played in so many rain games that it shouldn't be not anything to them. But for them to give up a goal in the 9th minute, it really got that crowd in it quick, because we talked about on the last show about how the Union have really, really dominated DC the last few seasons. So
Yes.
that early goal that they got, that it really got that crowd into it. And then the second goal, it was just a really lazy attempt by Damian Lowe to go up and get the ball from Benteke. And that's how it was, a deep pass from the goalie, from Bono, to Benteke got a touch on it. Then Stroud got a header on it. And then Merle put it in, and from right outside the box. And that goal, that's where I missed Andre Blake, because I was like, damn, this would have been he definitely would have made that save. That first goal was just a banger from like 10 yards out, from 10 to 15 yards out. So that was a great shot. but their lack of just awareness, their lack of it doesn't even seem like they care sometimes.
Yes.
And my biggest concern was that Leon Flack was in the starting lineup. I I, I don't know why. I would have been okay with him being coming off the bench, easing him back in from this injury. And I don't know if this was maybe they were punishing Martinez for
Mm-hmm.
his halftime cryptic tweet and stuff like that. But I would have either way. I don't know. For him to play 66 minutes, even in his first go round, he was walking at times. He looked tired. And that's why I'm surprised he didn't get maybe, wasn't a sub for, in the maybe somewhere in the 70th minute mark, 75th minute mark. The fact that Bedoya's going 90 minutes, this is the three out of the last 4 games, he's gone 90 minutes, which I don't think anyone really saw that coming. And so, I think he was that spark during that 3-game stretch where they won against Portland, they won against Minnesota and Nashville, where he was that spark coming off the bench, where it was like that's what he should be doing. And for him to be playing 90 minutes now, you look at these results. You got the tie against DC, you got the loss against Real Salt Lake, and then you got the draw against Atlanta. So maybe him coming off the bench is the formula for this. But the first half it's night and day. Curtin has to be one hell of a halftime speech guy and getting them riled up because it's working, right? It's working.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? You bring up interesting points, okay? And like I said, you're leaving a lot of holes open on defense. Like when you look at this game and you look at it, you watch it closely. You're watching like, oh my gosh, they're leaving pieces of the field open for DC to make plays. And guys like Jarrett Stroud, who was just a perfect facilitator in this game from DC. Again, he finds Christian Dadrome. He finds him coming across wide open and finds the back of the net. I mean, just wide open across the middle. There was like no defense. It looked like you said. It looks lackluster. It looks like they have no energy. It looks like they're not. Even, I don't know what they're playing for. I don't know. Like you said, Jim Curran just being a good motivator in that locker room because it looks like this team is showing a lot of fatigue. And I don't know if that had a lot to do from Tuesday playing against Seattle and playing, like we mentioned, they're going to play a tough little stretch. And when this team gets on a stretch, they show some tired legs. And I'm not making excuses. These guys are professional. And I'm not going to make excuses for the weather because DC came with their A game right in the beginning. They made some plays.
Yeah.
Again, Jared Stout being a facilitator finds Jacob Merrill. Tween, he made a offensive play like I never saw before. Between Harrell and GOLAZOOO, he makes like a pull back, stands back, and he unloads it. Just shoots the ball, finds the back of the net. It was a thing of beauty. And again, it's and you can see Oliver getting frustrated, getting angry.
Yeah.
And if this was Blake back there, like one thing I will say, if he sees the defense in front of him sitting on his hands, he's going to start screaming. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
He's a captain. He's the captain of the team, and he has that right. And he's going to get in someone's booty. So you can't be playing like this. You can't be showing, you can't be playing this tired and all that stuff. You got to come with your A game. And again, this is where I'm starting to feel like this Philadelphia team is starting to fall underneath the umbrella of your typical Philadelphia teams. I mean, you had teams against Seattle you should have won. You should play this DC team that you should have won, and you didn't. And like you said, you for 2 years you dominated DC. And I get every year is different. But to kind of get things going was Bedoya. Bedoya had to find the back of the net. He puts the one-on-one coverage. He finds the back of the net. He did a fine job with that. And then, one thing has been positive for this Philadelphia Union team is that Jack McGlynn has been finding the back of the net. He's been solid from the 18.
Amazing.
He's been
Oh,
sniping with that left leg, and it's a thing of beauty. And um, goalies are having a tough time trying to stop. He made two back-to-back games. You look at that Seattle game, and he finds it back in the net. He kind of got things going for that Philadelphia Union team, and in this game, he tied it up, and just being a little bit of a spark. So that all came into play as well. Here goes our main man, J.D. Walker. He says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Pumped up for Kevin Sullivan signing. I think we signed him by Leagues Cup. I think we see him by
yeah.
Leagues Cup. Sorry. I agree. I think we're going to see him sooner rather than later. I think we're going to see him in the near future. I think that kid's going to get
That's
some playing time.
that's 14 games. That's 14 games before Leagues Cup, before that break. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean there's plenty of time for him to get accustomed in that chemistry with the first team guys. So yeah, I think that's probably the
And
most realistic
and
prediction
like you said,
for timeline to see him.
and like we mentioned, these guys are tired. So you're going to get some guys off the bench. You're going to get some playing time, and we know how the Philadelphia Union's schedule is. It's heavy. You're seeing 2 games a week. I've seen that. We've talked with Bedoya. Bedoya said himself, it's wearing on the team a little bit. So sure, throw the future project right to the Wolves and see what he got. And let's go. I mean, they're going to develop him. He's going to get plenty of time in Union 2, and then when he's ready, send him to the big dogs. So it's going to be very, very interesting
Yeah.
to see what happens moving forward. But getting back, and JD, you could chime in as well. We're trying to get your thoughts about this Philadelphia Union team being lackluster in the first half. I mean, this is now 2 back-to-back soccer games where the Philadelphia Union, with under 15 minutes, have given up goals. It's not good. This is
And
this is not how you want to start a soccer game.
I think too, with the constant rotating of guys in the starting lineup, like Flock being in the starting lineup, I would have much rather have seen, like, you know, punish Martinez however you want to, and whatever in another way, make him do some community service hours for, a day, for half a day, or whatever it may be. But it ruins the cohesion and the chemistry of the guys that are on the pitch at the moment, who are used to being there. It's different when the guys are tired from playing. You usually see the subs within 60, 65th minute mark. So it's different when you have tired legs and you got fresh legs coming in, because it's almost like relief, like, ooh, okay, cool, like we can get through this. But then those first
Mm-hmm.
65 minutes really needs to be your best guys. And even though there's been moments where Ua hasn't proven his contract, I would much rather see him out there in the starting lineup, more consistent. That back four,
Yes.
Kai and Harry will pretty much have those left and right backs locked down. But whoever it's going to be, whether it's Lowe or Glesnes and Elliott, whoever it is, it needs to be more consistent. And I think that's been the biggest problem with the defense, at least in that back four, is the consistent lineup and chemistry that they've been able to not been able to get so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And JD checking in, he says it's mental at this point. The bad starts are concerned. Early goals needs to stop. It's sustainable. It's not sustainable. So yeah, it's not sustainable, and they need to stop. They need to stop putting themselves in holes. And like, you can't be starting soccer games, especially with under 10 minutes. That you can't be starting down 2. That it's already, like you said, it's a mental thing. Now all of a sudden you're saying to yourself, all right, one more goal and we're done. And now you're all of a sudden now you're overthinking about the game. Now you're making bad passes. Now you're overshooting it, and all those things come into play. You got to be playing better soccer than this, and you got to play disciplined soccer. You have to, stop letting these bad, wide open looks, and you're giving them to bad teams. I mean, again, this is so Philadelphia. This is so Philadelphia. Uh, you know, we've seen this story millions of times. When we play good teams, we beat them, we play them to tough, and then we see these bottom feeder guys. And listen, DC's not the same team they were 2 years ago. They are a lot better than they were. But they made a major step forward. I mean, they're right now still, and I know it's very early in the season, very early. But they're, I mean, as of now, currently, they're a playoff team, and they are sitting right behind you, right in the standings. So they're looking to climb over your shoulders and get ahead of you. So I'm glad that they walked out with the draw. But however, you still got to play better soccer. You still got to show us some.
I was happy with Nathan Harriel. I think he did. You didn't really hear Benteke's name really called that much, other than that second goal where he got that first touch on it. So he got that assist, the pre-assist, and the hockey assist. There you go.
Yes.
But other than that, he played great. He played great again against another team's superstar. And he there was a goal that he stopped that would have gave them 3, where he was right in the right place at the right time, right at the goal line, and beautiful header right off of to help out Zemla. So those sort of things, it's refreshing that it's like, man, we have so many like shining spots, and it's if you can just fix minutes, like little sections of minutes of games, if you can just not have these like high school almost like mistakes. I think back to that one with Martinez against Seattle. That doesn't happen. It's a draw, at least, sort of deal. And it's you talk about how this is so Philly. What, 4 games ago, we were sitting in second, I believe, right behind the Red Bulls, in front of Miami. And within a span of 3 games, it's now we're in 8th place. So it's like you said, it's so Philly. There's a lot of time, but man, it's frustrating to see.
Yeah, and you're right. 3 weeks ago, head into that Salt Lake game, I was thrilled. Okay, all right, bring Salt Lake in. I didn't care. All right, well, I kind of Salt Lake. Salt Lake's a good team. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then, all right, well, Seattle comes in here. We're going to bounce back, and we didn't. And then, okay, we got DC, and then we just draw a tie, and you can't. I mean, these are games that you need to win, and you need guys to step up. And going again, it's good to see McGlynn, step coming through. This last game, you saw Carranza trying to make plays, but who else? What else are we doing? But it was good to see a Bedoya sighting and get his, get on the scoreboard. But I mean, that's not going to be consistent. That's a once in a while thing. Where are the playmakers? Where are the playmakers I saw a month ago? Where's the and I get it, Gaza, probably deserves no heat. But like you said, Jim, where's Ua? We need more Ua. What are we doing with these lineups? And he's got to do a better job himself. Stick to what works. Stick with the Quinzel. Yeah. If you bring Bedoya off the bench, if Bedoya is going to be starting for you, and then there's an issue. You have a major issue that's going on further than this game, because if you're going to start your veteran player, and great, all those good things, he found the back of the net, but he shouldn't be the guy. He should be that rah-rah guy off the bench, and that should be his role. That should be his right. Get you going when there's no life on this team, or if you're showing there's no life already, that's a pretty bad sign. Or you're just trying to flip flop and just try different things out. Which okay, but you need to stay ahead of this game, because like you said, 3 weeks ago we were second, third in the standings, and in 2 games we're sitting there in an 8th seed. And if any more losing, we could be outside looking in. And as a Philadelphian, if you don't have a good soccer team and a good baseball team, your summer sucks. It is what it is.
Yeah,
and
that's all we got.
That's all we got. So, but anyway, let's get in some more commercials, and then we'll be right back, because we have to break down this big time Orlando game. Is this going to be a trap game for the Philadelphia Union? Philadelphia Union on paper should mop this team up and down. They only got a guy on there that only has 4 goals. We're going to answer that once we get back from our commercial break. Wrong button. That's live radio for you. Only I can make those mistakes. Nobody else. So don't blame no one else but me.
Great moments don't just happen, they happen with you in the crowd. Sherry'sTickets.com is easy to use and has no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Pay less, play more with Sherry'sTickets.com and get the tickets you want. Save even more by using the exclusive promo code EOP10 and share an experience that will live on. Don't pay hidden fees and save 10%. Why use any other ticket reseller and get those hard to come by tickets to the big game? If you need a more personal touch, give them a call at 610-494-5050. Sherry'sTickets.com also has great theater and concert tickets that are hard to get your hands on. Remember, don't overpay with the rest and save with the best at Sherry'sTickets.com. For that next great moment, save 10% by using the promo code EOP10. Great moments start at Sherry'sTickets.com.
Thank you, Dives. And one more from Dives. We did Philly sports trips. We did that. Let's do Cherry.
If you get hurt at work, in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, you call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Firm. Cherry Law Firm is here to fight for you and get what you deserve. Cherry Injury Law is a dedicated, well-established personal injury law firm built on the promise of aiding the seriously injured throughout the state of Pennsylvania. If you have been seriously injured in the state of PA by the negligence of another, and if you have questions for a Westchester or media personal injury attorney, please don't hesitate to call. Call 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your right. And again, that number is 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com.
Thank you, guys. But let's get it right into it. Orlando City will be coming into Subaru Park this Saturday night. The weather is going to be changing. We had some nice, beautiful weather all week, but of course the weekend it's got to plummet and go into 58 degrees, which could benefit the Philadelphia Union because in cold weather this team can really outburst like a team like Orlando. However, will the Saturday be a trap game? I'm not sure. I don't know what to expect from this Philadelphia team. On paper, that this Philadelphia team should mop up this Union team. This Orlando team. Orlando only has a guy on there. A Duncan McGuire only has 4 goals. Everyone else only has 1. It looks good on paper. It looks like Orlando's backtracked from last year. It looks like they're not the same team. It looks like they're in rebuild mode. I don't know what the direction of that team is. However, this Philadelphia Union team could take full advantage and get back to playing Union soccer and handling business on their own. But I'm not sure if they got what it takes. I don't know. Did something get taken out of that locker room? Because they haven't been playing Union soccer from the past, like me and Steve said a month ago. So, Union fans, if you're checking this show, we want to hear from you guys. So, Steve, what's your take? Will Saturday be a trap game?
It feels like it. Like you said, it feels like it. And then you get into that mindset, like I'm almost selling myself on it when we were just talking about it before, about how, it's so Philadelphian that, Philadelphia team to be, high up in the standings, be playing so good, be the only unbeaten team, and then for it to get come crashing down. And it's like on paper, like you said, a 2, 3, and 5 team in 14th place in the East. They've given up 18 goals so far. They have a -7 goal differential. So it's like, okay, yeah, we should go in there and just 3-0, 3-1 sort of game.
Yes.
But the one thing that, diving into it and looking into it a little bit deeper, their last 2 opponents have been to Toronto and Cincinnati, where they've lost both, but it's not like they got blown out. I believe they lost to Cincinnati 1-0, and I think Toronto was 2-0. So they're playing competitive. You're playing these teams competitively. They just can't put up goals themselves, which then, of course, we keep talking about this team's defense. So it's like, dang, the recipe is really there for Orlando to come in here with the big news we just got of Cavan the big deal. Oh, Gazdag just broke the franchise goal record, and it's like, man, Saturday should be a party in a sense. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm really having a hard time getting like myself excited to go to this party.
Yeah,
Almost mentality like, man, because what
I'm
Seattle was
with you.
13th, 14th ranked team too going into that game. So it's a little nerve-wracking, a little anxious with this game.
And you're right. And let's be honest, last two games at Super Bowl Park, they have yet to walk out with a W. They walked out with a couple L's. And so, and
Yeah.
I don't know. And listen, you mentioned about Orlando playing good competitive soccer. They just yet to come up with a finish. It's been somewhat of our story. We've been playing good competitive soccer, but we have yet to come up with a strong first half. And we need to have a strong first half if we want to put teams away. It doesn't matter what the teams look like on the standings. Standings really don't mean nothing. I mean, we all just saw, we just talked about, we could go from worst to first in a blink of an eye. So, you really need to bring your A game, and you really need to come out to finish, and you need some guys to kind of step up. And it's good to see McGlynn doing it, but you're going to need others as well. And it's like I said, you're going to get the once in a while goals from Bedoya. Maybe you'll get a defensive goal from like a GOLAZOOO with a header, stuff like that. But you really need your playmakers to come through. It can't, the workload's just solely on the backs of Gaza, Carranza, and we need that third guy to come through. And it was nice in the beginning because Ua was that third guy who was causing havoc. But now it feels like that's where we've dropped off. And in this league, you can't have that, and you can't have it. And listen, like you said, Cincinnati, Orlando hosted Cincinnati. It was a 1-0 win from Cincinnati. So in this way, listen, they're going to come in just a little bit more hungrier. So that's the credit to the Philadelphia Union, is that the Orlando does not know how to finish, and it's been wearing this team down. So, but however, like I said, in some regards, I'm not getting like you. I feel like I'm on the canvas. I want to get up and get excited. But I feel like I'm going to go right back down to the canvas. I've been let down by this team as of late.
Like, I'm only gonna bring like 2 beers to this party because I don't think I'm gonna get like too drunk tonight. I think I'm gonna try to drive home, eventually, sort of deal. So it's like,
or you're looking
the
for
other
an
thing that
accident.
worries me about, yeah.
Yes.
But we don't even have Carranza for this game because if he got that stupid yellow card against DC.
Yes.
So he's out. So this is the game where guys are going to be able to make a name for themselves. I think it's a prime time Sullivan game. He's been quiet the last couple games. He had that one assist in Seattle or versus Seattle, but I feel like this is a game where McGlynn's riding the hot hand. Sullivan, this is the moment to be like, hey, I know everyone's been talking about my little bro, but I'm here right now. It's a perfect time for him to step up. Gazdag, he was kind of invisible against DC. I'm sure he celebrated, had himself a good time about breaking the record and everything. So he's got a long leash. But this is another game for him, for UA, for these guys to be like, hey, if Carranza does leave in the summer, hey guys, we're still good. We're here. We have guys that can step up and play. So I'm really hoping. They have it.
Yeah, I want to be like, I want to say that too. I want to say, hey, listen, no Carranza, no problem. We got this. But that's the part I'm trying to find. Who's going to say that? Who, other than Gazdag, other than Gazdag? I mean, I need consistency. I need to see that word consistency, and hopefully McGlynn can do it again. Hopefully he can, snipe it from the 18, and just make magic happen. So if he get on the scoreboard early, with him and Gazak, this team's you might get something cooking, and they should, and they got to get on the scoreboard first and let Orlando know, like, no, you're in my house. You're gonna suck, and you're gonna continue to suck. But listen, that's all being with my blue and gold sunglasses. So, but realistically, and I'm gonna give you guys my prediction now.
What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
I'm thinking. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw, and I think that's how it's going to wind up.
Dang, 1-1 draw. Who gets the goal?
Oh, good question. I think McGlynn's gonna. I'm gonna go. He's gonna hit the hat trick. I think he's gonna get the third one. That's it.
There you go. So I had to dig deep. I had to dig deep when I was writing my notes up. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go full fan here because I was hyped with the Cavan news. So I think this is a game where they have to. They have to. It's no other way. This has got.
Yes.
I'm gonna say 3-1. We got an early goal from McGlynn, and then Sullivan and Ua have goals as well. I think man of the match goes to McGlynn just based off of his, his, like you said, his hat trick, of the last 3 games. But I think this is a game where they have no other choice but to reprogram our brains from what we've been watching with the Flyers and the Philly and the Sixers and everything. And so I feel like this is the key game, the moment where the team can go, I told you so. We're good.
Yes.
This isn't going to be
Yes.
Seattle again. We're back to winning at home. Can you imagine this fan base losing 3 games at home? Oh my God. In a row. Oh my
Boo
God.
birds.
So bad. It is so bad.
Boo birds. And I hate to say that, but the
That's
Boo
what
Birds
I
will
got.
be
3-1.
flying.
3-1.
3-1.
Oh,
3-1.
bad. It'd be bad. Oh.
The Boo Birds would be humming and hauling from the Wells Fargo Center, from Simpson Bank Park all the way down to Chester fast. The
All
Boo
the
Birds
way.
will come flying
Oh.
all the way flying in. We got a couple of look at this. We got a couple shows, a couple guys. Oh, the Mitchie Poo. I didn't know that Roman Reigns was a part of the Philly Sports. Yes, Mitchie Poo. Yes, he gets a. Oh, whoa, Mitchie Poo.
I get it everywhere I go. I get it everywhere I go. All the time. Oh man.
Joseph, what's up, Joey? Joey says, I might keep drinking if we lose on Saturday. Yes.
Oh yeah. There'll be a lot of people. Union Yards will be packed.
I love his profile picture with the yellow card. That's great. That's awesome. Thanks for tuning in.
Funny story about my guy Joe. So he actually had a actual referee yellow card from a game, like used one, and of course he got a little bit too liquid happy, and he lost it. So he had to order 2 new ones. He had to order, so now he has a red and a yellow. But yeah, his profile pic, that is it's epic.
Did he give himself a red card?
Yeah, he should.
After losing the game, he should give himself a red card.
I think he got Cavan's signature on it. He saw him in the parking lot with his family before one of the games, so that kind of made up for it, especially after the signing. That's got to make up for it. Yeah,
absolutely. So, guys, this is the part of the show we want to hear from you. 2 things before we let you go. One, Steve, I gotta ask you, Saturday, what are we having for dinner?
Dinner. I don't know what I'm having for dinner, but I know what I'm having for lunch. I'm stopping by on Saturday to see what you guys at the street light. Yep, at down in what was it, Drexel Hill? It's down there. Yep, we're gonna stop by. We're gonna stop by on our way down to the game. And say what's up, have something to eat. I saw the pictures from the last time you guys were down there of the food, so I was like, dang, if it was Gobbler approved, I'm in.
Dude, it's the food is approved. The food is well worth it. I definitely say if you're going to be down there, and of course anybody who's checking the show, go check us out this Saturday down the kitchen, Streetlight Kitchen and Bar right down there. For now, I forget how to pronounce that name of that street, but right there at the Holiday Inn in Drexel Hill, Stoplight Kitchen and Bar, Streetlight Kitchen and Bar, excuse me. Look that up. It is going to be. We're giving a free Phillies ticket giveaway. That's right. You heard it first, right here. We are going to give. Yes, we are going to give out a Phillies ticket giveaway, guys. You're not going to miss it. Come check it out. Listen, it's the place to be. Again, if you're a diehard Phillies fan, bring out your wife, fiance, whatever, the kid and caboodle. Bring on whoever out. One out. Here it is, right here. Right here. May 11th.
There we go. There we go.
Pre and post game show. Streetlight Kitchen and Bar, Drexel Hill, 19026 at the Holiday Inn Suites. Guys, it is well worth it. Heck, Friday night, spend the night there. Don't get up till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Hang out, check us out. We'll be down there. We're going to be having a good time. You can meet me, Al, Mike, Sal. They're all going to be down there. It's going to be a good time. I highly recommend for you guys to go check it out. And for me, I'm going to be covering the Philadelphia Union, so I'm going to be down there, down at Subaru Park. I might be eating my nails. I'm going to be honest with you. It depends how this game goes in the first half. If it's going good, I'm going to enjoy whatever they got going on down there. But if this game goes ugly, I hope it don't. I might be chewing on my nails. So we got that going on. And, of course, Steve, before we log out here, we got to go to our favorite segment of the show. And I'm going to go to you first. What is your game, your out of market game to watch?
So I really wanted an Eastern Conference game, and I actually really wanted the Sunday game because rivalry week.
Yes.
But I looked at this 10:30 game, LA Galaxy versus Salt Lake, number 1 versus number 3 in the West. I was like,
yes,
man, you know what? That it's still going to be on by the time I get home from the Union game. This game, I'm probably going to end up being my adrenaline's going to be up, win or lose or draw. So I'm definitely going to be checking out that game when I get back from the Union game. What about you?
See, you're not right, because mentally that was going to be my pick. But since you intercepted it, I'm going to go something completely different. I'm going to go the Battle of Ohio. Give me Cincinnati. Give me the Columbus Crew. Battle of Ohio. The Eastern Conference last year. Eastern Conference Championship last year. I'm going to go with that route. That's going to be, for me, the game to watch come Saturday afternoon. So every Saturday night. So, guys, that's my game. That's Steve's game. Give you 2 good games to watch come Saturday night. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for me, Patrick Bernard, Steve Fuentes. Give him a follow right there at Soldier Steve 247. Give him a follow on X, guys. He's a great guy, and check out all of his hard work. This guy is a workhorse. Anything Union Soccer you need to know, and of course, guys, check him out. Come meet him. He's going to come down to Streetlight Bar and Kitchen. Going to hang out. He might pop his head on TV as far as some foolish conversation in there. You never know. We don't know what we're going to do yet. But, guys, I want to say thank you. And, guys, if you want to hang out with me, come down Saturday night. Come down Subaru Park. I'll be walking around the complex area, walk around the stadium, shake hands with everybody. So, guys, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to the Attacking Third. And, guys, we'll see you next week. That's right. We got 2 games coming up. We got got Saturday against Orlando, and then we got a Wednesday gamer. We got to quickly. We got to give that prediction now.
Oh shoot! Yeah. What do we got there?
We got that.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got NYC FC coming in here, coming in Saturday.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that game. That struck us off too.
Oh man! So now
2 games to talk about. We'll have 2 games to talk about here.
So I'll quickly give you my prediction for that. Now this kind of changes my philosophy. I think the Union win on Saturday. I think they win a 2-1 over Orlando, 2-1 over Orlando, and then I think they're going to draw it out to a 1-1 with NYC.
Okay, so you're going win-draw now, and I'm going to go.
Draw, I think.
I'm going to win-win. I'm gonna go win-win. I know this NYCFC team has been playing good, but I think this team knows. I think that first half was a wake-up call that Joe says against the Pigeons. That's what they That's what that
Yes.
that's what they call it in NYCFC.
Yes.
But no, I think these two teams, and another team that we've dominated. I think we've beat them the last 5 games the same way against, it was DC. But I'm trying to get past the whole mental block of, letdown games. So I think this is going to be win-win. I think this Saturday is a blowout. I think Wednesday will be more of a closer game, especially having Carranza back for that game will be huge.
Yeah, and he'll be hungry. He'll be licking his chops to get back in action.
Yeah.
Good call. I like it. So, guys, check us out this Thursday. We'll react to all the action coming up against, of course, as my man said, against the Pigeons, and of course against Orlando. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning. Check us out, and then we'll see you next week, this same time, 9:00 p.m. And guys, like, subscribe to Attack and Third right here on Edge of Philly Sports YouTube. See you guys. We're out.